Philippine mythology. Hello, welcome to my epic presentation. For my presentation, I've decided I will be making a video for this project. Today, I will be telling you all I learned about Filipino mythology here. So to begin with, the location where this mythology is most commonly known is in no other than the Philippines. Philippine mythology is rooted in the many indigenous Philippine folk religions. Philippine mythology does seem to have similarities with Hindu, Muslim, Buddhist, and Christian traditions. Philippine mythology is deeply rooted in the indigenous folk religions that existed before the arrival of Christianity, Islam, and other major world religions. Filipino mythology was maintained primarily through oral tradition and the practices of babaylan and community elders across various indigenous Filipino cultures, including the Tagalogs, Visayans, Manuvu, and Cordillerans. These myths serve to explain the world, human existence, and life's mysteries, and were passed down through generations. Different indigenous groups, such as the Tagalogs with Bathala as their supreme god, Visayans with Laon, Manuvu with Manama, and Cordillerans with Kabunyan, each had their own variations and interpretations of the myths. Pre-colonial influence, Philippine mythology with its creation myths, stories of deities, and supernatural beings provided a worldview that guided pre-colonial Filipinos. This worldview shaped social hierarchies, religious practices like animism and ancestor worship, and cultural values. Religious syncretism. During the Spanish colonial period, Catholic missionaries attempted to replace indigenous beliefs with Christianity. However, indigenous deities and spirits were often incorporated or associated with Christian saints, leading to a form of religious syncretism. This fusion created unique cultural expressions, such as folk Catholicism, which blended Christian practices with pre-colonial beliefs. Some of the most popular deities that were worshipped, known, and important to the Filipino people was Bathala, Mayari, Apolaki, and Tala. Some major mythological beast was Aswang, Kapre, and Diwata. Bathala is the supreme god, the creator and ruler of the universe. He is considered a transcendent deity, the origin of all things. He is symbolized by the sun and depicted as an elderly wise figure with a long, flowing white beard. He is also associated with the crow raven Uwa, considered an omen of death, and the Tigmamanukan bird, which was sent to split open the primordial bamboo. The primordial bamboo is where the first man and woman came out of. He's also sometimes known as Abba. Mayari is a goddess associated with the moon, beauty, strength, and revolution. She is also the goddess of war and the hunt. Mayari, often depicted as a beautiful maiden, and in one version of the story, she is depicted as one-eyed, having lost an eye in a battle with her brother, Apolaki, the sun god. When Bathala died, he left without leaving a will. His children, Apolaki and Mayari, had a quarrel because each wanted to rule the world alone. The two fought back and forth until at last, Apolaki struck Mayari in the face and she became blind in one eye. When he saw what he did to his sister, Apolaki took pity on her and agreed to rule the earth together, but at different times. However, her light is dimmer than her brother's due to the loss of her eye. As stated before, Apolaki is the god of the sun, but also wisdom and war. He is also a patron of warriors. He is often depicted as a handsome young man with golden skin and radiant hair, adorned with gold garments, symbolizing the brilliance of the sun. Tala is the goddess of the morning and evening stars. She is known for guiding people safely through the night using light orbs. Her name, which means bright star, in Tagalog, reflecting her celestial role, She is often described as a beautiful maiden, with her radiance compared to dazzling stars themselves. Philippine mythology offers a variety of creation myths, explaining the origins of human society and concepts like community, justice, and love. For how the world came to be, there are many. Each indigenous Filipino group has its own creation myth. In some cases, a single group has multiple versions of its creation myth. I could go on for hours about each and everyone's different ways of how they viewed how things came to be, but that'd take way too long, so I'm just going to choose a few. Also, before I start telling more information, for some images, I had to make my own because all the images I could find were AI art, and I didn't want to use them, so don't laugh at me. I tried. Shout out Casper for the help. The god Melu constantly rubbed his skin to make it pure white. He accumulated a lot of dead skin. He became annoyed and used the dead skin to create the earth, a sacred bird of prey inside the sky, and the sea to fight each other so that it could find somewhere to land, thus creating islands. The world was created by Pamulak Manobo, who made the land and sea, and the first humans. Rain comes when he throws water from the sky. Showers are his spit. White clouds are smoke from the deity's fire. The sun created yellow clouds that make the colors of the rainbow. In the beginning, there was only a formless void. The deity Manama or Sigalungan created the deities who assisted him in creation. He took to steel bars and fashioned the bars into a frame. He then scraped off his fingernails and molded them into a mass that eventually became the earth. Filipino mythology deeply reflects the values, beliefs, and practices of the culture by offering explanations for the world, reinforcing social structures, and shaping moral codes. It provides a lens through which Filipinos understand their history, environment, and interactions with the supernatural. These myths often depict relationships between deities, heroes, and mortals, reflecting social hierarchies and emphasizing virtues like respect, loyalty, and courage. Filipino mythology has also maintains its distinct features, such as the emphasis on family, community, and respect for elders, which are all still very important to the Filipino people today. Filipino mythology has many unique stories that show the culture and beliefs of the Filipino people, and on top of that they have many interesting stories and creatures. One of those creatures is the kapre. It is a prominent figure in Philippine folklore, often described as a giant tree-dwelling spirit. It's believed to be a guardian of the forest, sometimes depicted as mischievous or even lovesick, but always possessing a strong connection to nature and the trees. It is also known for its strong tobacco smell and tendency to play pranks on people, especially those venturing into the forest. Next are Diwatas. Diwata refers to a variety of supernatural beings, including gods, goddesses, nature spirits, and even fairies who are believed to inhabit and influence the natural world. Diwata can also refer to the collective term for these supernatural beings. The word is often associated with benevolent spirits and deities. Lastly, in Filipino folklore, aswang is a generic term for various shape-shifting creatures that are believed to be evil, including vampires, ghouls, witches, and viscera suckers. They are often described as shapeshifters, transforming into animals like dogs, cats, pigs, or bats, especially at night. Aswangs are known for their predatory behavior, targeting children and pregnant women, and sometimes even stealing and cannibalizing them. Before I wrap this video up, I wanted to share a goddess I learned about while researching for this project. But to begin with, the Filipinos believed in final judgment, as in the punishing of the evil and rewarding the good. It's very similar to heaven and hell, the chief deity that watch over the souls brought to Kasanan. Hell was named Sitan. Sitan was assisted by many agents, and one of these agents was named Manisilat. She was also known as the Goddess of Broken Homes, aka Goddess of Divorce. She was said to be restless and mad whenever there was a happy home within sight. And when she was determined to destroy every such happy home, she would disguise as a woman healer or an old beggar enter the dwelling of her unsuspecting victims and then proceed with her diabolical aims. With the aid of her charms and magic powers, she would then turn the husband and wife against each other. She was most happy when the couple quarreled, and she would dance in glee when one of them would leave the conjugal home. Yeah, that's the whole thing. I just thought it was a little bit funny and wanted to share that. Also, Danny wanted me to share that. Anyways, thank you for watching my presentation. Also sorry, Roseanne, for turning this in so late. Please forgive me. Here are my sources. Does anyone have any questions?